Hi everyone, welcome and thank you for joining us on the Access for 2.0 webinar. Joining me today, I have Matt Jamison, who's our head of channel.
Hi everyone.
My name's Anne. I'm the head of product here at Access for. We're going to first do a walkthrough of all the changes, a live demo, and then we're going to run through questions in a Q&A. So down there's a Q&A, put your questions in there as we go through, anything that pops up and you want to know an answer to, and we'll address at the end. So we'll just dive into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think I'd like to start with thanking everybody for taking the time to participate with this. It's really important to us that we get this message right and we show all of the beautiful things that the product team have done. Before you jump into it, Anne, I know there's been an enormous amount of work going to this. How long's this been in the pipe dream?
How long's it been? Well, I joined Access for 2.5 years ago. And it was an idea before I joined. I think it was in the interview process. Tim was talking about, we want to do 2.0 and have a UI UX refresh of SASBOSS. So it's actually been a really long time, but we've spent a lot of that doing research in terms of how we wanted to do that. Because SASBOSS is such a complex product, there's a huge amount of process and logic that goes into it. You can't just do a simple UI UX upgrade and make things look nice. You got to really think about the process of how someone would go about their day-to-day tasks. And so we've spent hours and hours speaking of our partners, speaking of probably a number of you on the call, working out what you need from SASBOSS, where your pain points are. So yeah, I would say over 2 years.
Wow. So I didn't know that it was quite that long. So that's an enormous amount of time and effort to get to this point. So that makes me even more excited about being here with you as we go through it today.
Yes. So yeah, finally, December, we are launching SASBOSS 2.0, the phase 1. Which part would you say you're most excited about?
Oh, look, I think since joining Access 4 and understanding that SASBOSS is at the core of our value proposition to our partners, and that we've got such a wonderful product team who've put all this hard work together. So seeing the culmination of that value proposition and the ability for our partners to see it better, do better, use it better, that just increases our ability to add value to our partners and help them do what they do on a day-to-day basis. So that, I think, is just a fantastic opportunity to be part of.
Yeah. Oh, great. Awesome. Well, you've actually set me really well up for the first start is what is SASBOSS 2.0 and what's actually really the changes that we're bringing out. So SASBOSS 2.0 is at the core of it, it's UX improvement. So we're trying to improve your lives and how you use SASBOSS to make things more intuitive, make it easier, make things quicker, less overheads. And SASBOSS 2.0 is addressing a lot of that. So we've listened to your feedback through ideas portals, through our CSAT feedback in SASBOSS, Access to Text webinars, roadshows, conference. All of those have come through to work out what do we need to address first.
There may have been a couple of drinks at the bar.
Definitely,
right,
definitely.
Just checking.
Absolutely. And so it prioritises what we need to do quickly because we're not going to be able to do all of it in one shot. That'd be a huge rollout. We would want to disrupt how you're working day to day because a lot of you are living in SASBOSS to do what you're doing for your regular tasks. So we're trying to roll it out so we can get feedback and to ensure we're on the right track. And what we heard is the most biggest pain point is navigation and intuitiveness to find what you're looking for. So that's what we tried to address first. So we're looking at the menu, we're looking at the areas that you're using the most, so the customers area. And so that's what we're doing. So navigation, intuitiveness, and usability. The other thing that we've added in there also is a terminology change from enterprise to customer. So one, that's about SASBOSS being, again, intuitive and easy to pick up from the start. A lot of people think of their customers as customers, not necessarily as enterprises. And also to move away from this language that's quite centered around a single platform like BroadWorks. So this is to be more agnostic to platform and just simpler to pick up for SASBOSS.
Great. That sounds excellent.
So here's what it looks like sort of at the core of it. So there is a UI component. Things do look slightly different, but everything is in the same place. You don't require any new training to use SASBOSS 2.0. It's just slightly different in terms of how it looks. So you're used to your menu on the left being quite a dark blue, a SASBOSS blue. It's now much lighter. So we've done this to improve readability, but also just across SASBOSS, things just generally are a bit lighter. So looking at the screen now, that's sort of on the home page. Your menu on the left looks very, very similar to what you're used to. Some things we've brought together to improve navigation and make it easy to find things. So you'll see the customers on the left there. That now has groups and services down below it. Otherwise,
so so we're going to do a live demo a little bit later on this as we work through these parts. So everyone's going to get to actually see you navigate through.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, excellent. That'll be good to have.
Now we're going to see all of this in motion and how it works.
And I was just going to say, don't forget, everybody, we have a Q&A at the end, so we are really looking forward. So please make sure that you keep putting your questions into the questions section so that we can have a look at those once we've got through our live demo.
Yep. No, perfect. The other thing I want to mention about the menu is that one of the other feedbacks we had through the ideas portal, and again over the bar, was that the menu hover isn't really working perfectly for everyone. They prefer to be able to pin it onto the side. So what we've done, so you can see the little chevron at the top. My hand disappears. But over the top there's a blue chevron next to the SASBOSS logo. That now allows you to minimize the menu to the left and pin it to the side. So it gets you a bit more real estate, but also means you don't have that sort of hover, pop out, close sort of thing going on. So you can pin it out or keep it in. When it's pinned, it looks like this, so it gets down to its icons, but you can still access the sub menus below it. And this is just, again, a usability improvement. Where you see most of the changes is when you get into the customers section. So this is what was the enterprise page, it's now the customers page. And you'll notice, although the UI is a new color, everything's all in the same place. So it's still a table that has all of your customers in there. There's like a create new button, view customer opportunities. They're all still there. So all the same functionality, it's just a little bit easier to read. What we have added is 2 new columns, so groups and services. This allows you to see your customers and how many groups and services there are at a glance. And what you also might be wondering is where the actions button is. So that's now the 3-dot ellipses on the far right there. So again, saving a bit of space, taking away the slightly scary red buttons. They're now blue buttons, which we had a lot of feedback on too. But under those 3 ellipses have all the actions you're used to there. So again, it's not large changes, it's little things just to improve life.
So our partners have been used to enterprises for a little while. We've changed to customers. I think this is a really good initiative from us to do this, and I like the fact that we haven't really changed anything, and the feel there, and you haven't taken anything away. You've just added to the functionality, which is great. And I think it really plays to the fact that, again, as I said at the start, SASBOSS is the core of our value proposition, and behind that, we like to make the complex simple. And we're now, with the launch of UC Express, SMS Gateway, I think it makes a lot of sense to have this as the customer area behind all of those product sets, rather than that sort of I suppose, legacy enterprise wording.
Yeah, no, exactly. Those are exactly the reasons why.
Excellent.
No, really good. All right, when you actually do click on a customer, this area has changed a little bit too, but again, also not a lot of change. So the main thing you land on, which is the managed customer interface, that is exactly the same. As you can see there, 2.0 has gone around it, but we've left that page the same. We will do a review of this and apply 2.0 improvements to it over time, but at the moment it's left. We don't just disrupt anything you're doing. We just left that as it is. What is new and added is the tabs across the top. So you can see the groups, services, DIDs, and devices tabs. This allows you to quickly access the groups, services, DIDs, and devices for that customer all from the one screen. So previously, or currently, you have to go back out to the menu, go to groups, and then filter for the customer. Here, you can go to the groups and you can see the stuff already. So I'm going to, again, show this in the live demo and you'll see how it pre-filters for the customer. But it's about navigation. It's about being able to find the stuff easily. It's about being able to do tasks easier and quicker. And again, you also have your actions as the 3 ellipses button there. So nothing's taken away. All the things you could do before you can do. We just added a bit more to make things a bit easier. All right. And what else is coming for 2.0? So this is just the first step. The first step. taken a while to get to the first step, but we're really, really proud of what we've built and created, and I'm really excited to hear your feedback. But we will continue to roll out SASBOSS 2.0 to other areas. So at the moment, it's just in the opportunities CPQ area that was launched earlier this year, and now we're rolling it out to the main page, menu, and the customers area. We will continue to roll that out to other parts of SASBOSS, and we're doing it in order of the usage. So the areas that will impact and help you the most and the quickest, we're rolling it out to those first. So those are the services page, they're the managed groups pages and things like that.
And how have we measured that? How do we know that these are the areas that the partners are using?
Yeah. So we have performance stats. So we have performance monitors in the background that tells us where the usage of SASBOSS is, who's going to where the most frequency, how many days, how often per day. So we can critique and prioritize that list appropriately.
So we really are truly tailoring it to meet the needs of the partners. It's really fantastic.
Yeah, and that's right. Sorry, and you remind me as well that everything we've designed as part of 2.0 has been either an idea that's come through from a partner or in collaboration with partners as a focus group. So everything has been here is co-designed by partners for partners.
Beautiful.
Which we're really proud of as well. All right, we're going to go do the live demo now.
Now, for anyone that's in tech, there's nothing quite like doing a live demo. So we'll cut across. Nearly there.
All right. There
Take
we
it away.
go. Yes. All right. So you are in the new and improved SASBOSS 2.0. So this is the home screen. And you'll notice you have a new color menu and a new color header and a new color menu. So first we mentioned that the menu can be pinned. So using this chevron, I can pin it to the left and have all this extra space for activities, and then open it also to the right, and that will also stay there. When I do open and close it, so I can access the sub menus, if I was to pin it, I can still access the sub menus there. I find that I actually prefer to pin it just to have that little bit more space. And once you get used to the icons and can recognize that they're the customer, or just a quick hover, you can see that's the customer one, that's your CPQ. It becomes quite intuitive and it's quite easy to use. So I prefer to keep it pinned, but others like to keep it open. The other things we have here, so your profile at the right, again, it's just slight changes. It's just for the 2.0 UI, but everything's still there. And when you go into these things, then the next page is still 1.0 or SASBOSS original, but just the front page has been updated. All right, let's move on to the customers area. So if I go all customers, into the customers view. All right, so here are all the customers that I have as part of myself as this reseller, and I can see them all at a glance. So what's changed? Button colors are different. So it's the blue color now instead of the red. They're a bit bigger and easier to click, especially on mobile devices. But I've still got my table. I've got improved filtering and sorting. It's just a bit easier to use now. So I can do it by DIDs. I can filter by anything I like, really. Here are the new columns for groups and services. So if I want to know the customer has the most services, I could filter to that. So I can see UC Express customer here, a test one, and it's got 64 services under a single group. So this is all lots of test data we're using here. But you can see at a glance your customers and what sort of groups and services they have, if that's what you'd be looking for. You can still search for the customer name, the whole table. Your actions are off here to the right. And again, all the same ones that you're used to, they're still there. And then if I go into the customer itself, all right, so again, the exact same format you're used to. So this is the same managed customer screen with all the same information. The part that I'm really excited about is you can go in and see the groups, and that's all the groups for that particular customer. And this customer only has one group. They've got the main group. If I was to go to their services.
Now, I'll just pause you there for a second. We've had one of our first questions loaded, and I'm going to interrupt and ask that because I think you already know what this question is going to be, and that is there a dark mode?
Is there a dark mode? We had the exact same question in Access to Text earlier today. So there is not a dark mode yet. Now, that's an idea that's been in the ideas portal for a while, and we actually road tested that on Access the Text at the last set of road shows. And we were going through and asking, who needs it, raise your hand. And it didn't have as much uptake as I thought, really. A lot of the people, using it were like, yeah, it's fine. But we have specially Access 4 staff. Everyone's asking for dark mode. So the way to get dark mode to a higher priority is to go into the ideas portal and upvote it. The more votes, the higher priority it gets when our team reviews it every week. But it is part of it. So what we're going to do is going to roll out 2.0 to the whole of SASBOSS, and then we can start looking at dark mode. But
it is quite a complex task to create a dark mode.
It is. A lot of people think it's just inverting the colors, and it is not. It's very hard. You got to do a lot of usability, color correction for intuitiveness and readability. So yeah, it's not just a simple one. Unfortunately, you can't just change the colors to dark ones. I'm afraid. But there are a couple of dark themes you can put. So if you're using Chrome as a sort of stopgap until you have that, there is some Chrome themes that will make the screen darker for you until we have dark mode as a bit of a workaround for yourself.
Okay, so we've got a couple more questions come in. Shall we have a look at those before we press on, or do you?
Yeah.
So, is there no way to click on the service count from the customer tab as you can currently do? So we're talking about in here. So on the customer listing page? So on the customer tab to get the service count.
On the customer tab. So if you're talking about from the listing page here, you can see all the services, and then if I go down, I can see which ones they are. And if I was to click on, say, endpoints, it'll take me to the page and pre-filter for all the endpoints there. And so you can see it's pre-filtered for endpoints. But if I go into the customer itself, so if I get rid of that filter and go to manage customer, if I go to the services, it will show me all the services for that customer. It wants me to put a filter in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think the answer is that yes, it's there. If we haven't quite answered that question correctly, we can get a bit more detail.
Do you mean somewhere in here under these? It might mean somewhere under here.
Yes. Look, I don't have that that detail in the question, so we might press on with the dem.
So in answer if we've changed anything here, we have not changed anything from this page. So anything that the managed customer page had before and the functionality it did still happens, still works. Nothing's changed on that page.
And I think that's a really important message, is that we've only added, not taken away.
Yes.
So in the the second nature using SASBOSS the way you've always done, you can click and guide your way through it. We've just added to the functionality.
Exactly.
Yeah, terrific.
Exactly. All right.
So let's press on with the dem.
All right. So, talk about groups. So you can see all the groups. This one only has one. Again, the services. So I can see all the services. For that one, I can also create services from here. If I go to DIDs, I can see all the DIDs. And the important thing to show here is that you can see, for DIDs, you can see your current orders and you can see inventory in the one page, which is an improvement upon where you do normally in SASBOSS, where you have to go to these on separate menu items and you can't see them together. Here you can see them both for the partner in the same spot, and the same thing for devices. You can see all the orders that are going on and the inventory. This customer doesn't have any at the moment.
Great. We have had another question come in, and it's one I know that we've been asked a lot. I can't speak to the detail of how we do this, but I do know that we monitor this on a regular basis. And the question is, what is being done to improve the actual speed of SASBOSS?
The page load speed. Great question. All right, so we did a lot of work started this year. So what we were finding is we had some service, and Stan and Saj could talk to this to a lot more detail than I could, but we had basically, they were filling up. We had so many partners and customers coming on that they were starting to get quite full, which slows them down when you have services that fill up. So we added a bunch more, so there's a bunch more space. So everything new is added onto a new one. So all those should be much faster. But we have found that there hasn't been many feedbacks in the last, I'd say probably 3 to 4 months of page load speed being an issue.
And also that obviously the partners probably don't know that we do this, but we report internally on a weekly, fortnightly, monthly basis on the load pages. So we track it very carefully to make sure that we're adhering or exceeding expectations.
Exactly.
Yep, great.
Yeah. I stand up at our company, all hands town hall, with the entire business together, and I report on the CSAT scores. I report on the average page load speed of SASBOSS. So it's front of mind for everyone at the business to ensure that the performance of SASBOSS is as best as we can make it.
Absolutely. And obviously, I think we'll, as with any sort of product like this, we continue to monitor and continue to improve wherever we can. But would encourage the partners to talk to us if you are experiencing something that's different to that, or it's challenging for you. Then you can reach out to myself. You can reach out to Anne. You've obviously got a team of enthusiastic partner growth managers and partner success managers who you can talk to directly, and we'll get the detail from you and we'll work through it.
Yep, absolutely.
Great. Thank you. That's it on questions for now.
Well, that's actually kind of the end of the demo. We haven't changed a huge amount. This is as I said before, it's the first phase rollout of SASBOSS 2.0. So we limited it to a certain space and area to get your feedback before we just did the rest of the area and the rollouts. So just for a summary, it's the header, it's the menu to the left, it's the terminology of enterprise to customer, and then it's the customer listing page and then manage customer area.
And from a roadmap perspective, this is just the first jump off of 2.0.
It is. This is the first one. So I'm referring to this one as the Christmas present because it's coming in December, very early December, not quite Christmas, earlier than Christmas, early Christmas present for you and for me. I'm really excited to roll this out. But
we really are geeks when it's what we want for Christmas, isn't it?
I'm so excited for it, so happy about it. So as Matt said, this is just the first one. We're going to be rolling it out to other areas of SASBOSS in order of what the biggest usage areas are, so we have the best value to you guys for the impact to improve how you're working. So as I mentioned, it's at the moment it's the services and groups areas. They're the ones that have the highest traffic, and the managed service and managed groups functionality. So we won't be able to roll it to every sort of, services and groups have a lot of settings that can be managed in it, and they all have different modals and pop-ups that take you through to the next page. So we're not going to be able to do all of them, but those areas that are hits at the most. So when I'm looking at the usage of SASBOSS, and got a very big table of this at home, and it shows me, we'll be doing those ones first and leaving the rest of the settings to a bit later. So again, the highest traffic areas first.
And just on our check before we did everything, we made sure that laptops were on silent. Everything was on silent except for my phone. So well done, Matt. Look, thank you. That was really good, Anne. I really appreciated being part of going through this with you. I think, as I said at the start, SASBOSS really does play to that central part of the value proposition that we offer to our partners. We love the product. It's very important to us. We know our partners love it. And if we can continue to make it better, I think we continue to improve what we do and how we do it to make our partners' lives all that bit easier. Just looking to see if there's any more questions rolling in at this point in time. Okay, so we've got another question there. Are there any changes in the layout for the enterprise/customer admins? So this, I think, is a little bit more clearly on that question. So, again, any changes to the layout of the enterprise/customer admins?
No, not on that side. We're purely limiting to what I've shown you here. That's all that we're seeing here.
Yep. So again, I think it's just important to note that the very familiar or experienced SASBOSS user isn't going to come in and find a completely different world, just going to find these minor changes to the way in which it looks and the additions of some ease of navigation and guidance. So I think, again, just to make sure that everyone knows we're taking nothing away, adding more, and it's all about this as the platform for the future of 2.0.
Yeah, that's it.
Excellent.
That's it. All right.
Okay, so it looks like questions are done for the moment. So I'd like to thank Anne for her time and effort, and all of the product team in the work that they've done leading up to the launch for 2.0. So well done, Anne.
Thank you, Matt.
You did a great job with our presentation and live dem. And I would encourage our partners that if you do have any questions or concerns, then reach out to any member of the Access 4 team. We're all here to support you, our partners. We can't do what we do without you, and we really want to make your life easier. We think this is a really exciting prospect with 2.0, and looking forward to it delivering for you. So that's it from me. Anything from you to finish up?
No, again, thank you for joining me, Matt. I really appreciate your experience and insight into what the partners need and what they might be caring about at the moment. So thank you for joining me.
Very good. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you all.
And partners, just a reminder, we'll be making this webinar available soon, and the decks and all of the video content that you've seen and been a part of today, so that you can share with your greater teams and partners that missed. So thank you very much, and we'll call it an end to the webinar.
Thanks all.